Hey everybody. So today I'm starting a video series on OpenAI. My focus primarily is to help you all understand how OpenAI works, what are the different models, what are the different ways to interact with it, and many more. This is the very first that I'm recording, and the intent is really to help you with the quick start of OpenAI. Now, just to give you a bit of background, I'm sure you all have used ChatGPT, and if not used, you have heard it. Some of you have already tried maybe GPT-4, the paid version of it, right? Now, yes, there are multiple ways to interact with OpenAI models. One, we can use ChatGPT like interface, a web UI to interact with, and second is using API calls. The one that I'm going to start is primarily focused on API calls because I believe that's the way we can help to really build multiple applications. Now, what you are seeing here is basically a notebook, and I'm just doing very basic stuff here, right? My goal is to really help you interact with one of the GPT model and ask some question and see how you are seeing the response. So in order to reach there, we need to have an environment where we can run it. And I'm using Google Colab because we get this free of cost, right? So just to get started, I have created a simple notebook. And first thing, as you can see here, when we create a simple notebook, we get some basic resource as you can see here. So for example, we can change the runtime. As you can see, we are getting Python 3 runtime with CPU. I don't need a GPU in this case. I'm just going with CPU. Now, the first code as you see here is installing the OpenAI package. When we have the Google Colab instance, there is OpenAI is not installed. So we have to just install it. And this is the command to install OpenAI, right? I'll just run it. So there are two ways to run it. Either you can execute it by clicking the run icon here, or you can use shift and enter to start the execution of that code snippet. So you can see the successfully installed OpenAI package. Now the next thing that I'm going to do here is to really bring the API key, right? Now in another video, I'll show that how we can generate the API key, but at a high level, you can go to OpenAI site and there you can create API key, right? So once that is done, this code snippet can be executed and it's going to ask that enter the API key, right? So I'm just going to paste the API key that I have created and I'm just going to hit enter. So once the API key is assigned to this OpenAI API key variable, then let's just import the OpenAI module. Now, once OpenAI module is imported, I have just included a code snippet which helps to list out the available model. Right now, the number of model that you are seeing here may be restricted with the type of key that we have, right? So let's just list the OpenAI models. So it is saying OpenAI is not defined, right? So let's just understand what's happening. So as you can see, I've just fixed that error. Basically, the import OpenAI was missing. We needed to import that. So once that is imported and once I execute now this, you will see the list of models here. Now, the one that we want to use is basically the GPT 3.5 Turbo, right? That's what you see here in the following code. So what I'm doing here, I'm using this model and then I'm passing the question here and calling this function to basically talk to that model and give a response for this question, right? So tell me about generative AI future. And once I execute this, you are basically going to see that this is now going and talking to OpenAI model via an API call, and then it's giving us a response. So this is very basic, but I think it's powerful to showcase how you can interact with OpenAI models um, using Jupyter Notebook. And in the next one, we will start deep diving to different component and we'll look at more examples. Thank you.